Heyo, it's Snapdragon, and today I am in the ceramic studio. I thought I'd show y'all something cool that I got to make last night. It is a little base thingy-majiggy. So I got to make this using one of the wheels. The clay still feels a little damp. It was really wet, so I'm going to turn the camera around. And as you can see, this is one of our ceramic wheels. There's a bat, which is the plate thing that goes on here. The binder clips this together so it doesn't fall apart. And then it turns on and it spins around. So you can shape something out of the clay. So hopefully I will be able to show y'all a video of that pretty soon. I also made a few more things. So this right here is a rattle. It doesn't rattle right now, but when it gets fired up, it has little pellets inside that are wrapped in a paper towel. The paper towel will burn off the pellets, and then it'll hopefully rattle. I also made this little pot thing. Some of the beads on the top of it are falling off, so I'll have to fix that and re-glue it. But that's something that I made out of coils. I made a little pendant. I rolled out the clay and pressed a piece of lace into it to make the design, and then I used a what's it called? It is a paint, but it's an underneath. It's a base layer glaze. It's a base layer glaze that went on that, and then I have another pendant that I made right here. I don't know if you can see there's this design on it, so I did that, and then I made sort of a paperweight thing. Also, again, this was pressing. Well, this wasn't lace this time. It was a sort of little silicone thingamajig that you press down and make something. I made a cool little pendant bead and did it with the underneath glaze. So I also have another project that I'm working on. It is going to be like a little horse figurine, but I'm still working on that. So yeah. And this is how I am going to be throwing something on the wheel. I'm going to get it spinning. And to find the center of the wheel, I'm going to dip my finger in water and place it down like that. So it creates a rough spot, and that's how I know that I found the center. I'm going to stop the wheel. I'll take my lump of clay that I have already wedged and smack it down into the center. Now I'm going to get the wheel spinning again. I'm going to wet my hands in this bucket of water. And I'm going to begin to shape it. When you take your hands off, you got to be very gentle and slow about it so as not to misdeform. You have to keep your hands wet, otherwise the clay will drag, and that is not so good. Very gently. I'm going to press my fingers down in this to start hollowing it out. And now I start to feel the clay dragging. So I'm going to re-wet my hands again. This is a very messy process, but it's fun. I'm going to turn this wheel off. I got a pretty good little indent going there. So I'm going to take a needle tool. I'm going to poke it down in the bottom. And I got a very thin little bottom going there. So I don't need to worry about that. Now I can work on the sides of the piece. Okay. Woo! And that's what happens if you accidentally mess up your hand positioning. You create a bad little mess up there. So let me see if I can salvage it and fix it. Got a bad little mess up there. So I'm going to take my needle tool. Simply cut that off. Carve a little bit to even this out. Well, worth a try. It usually takes me about 2 or 3 tries to get it. That's why you always want to have an extra lump of clay on the ready, just in case if you mess it up. And then you can stop the wheel periodically to check your work, kind of see. I think I want to narrow this bottom section down, narrow that a little bit, bring that up, so I get the wheel going again. You got my hand. Taper this outward a little bit. It's not as strong, but it still is pretty. Gently release. And there we go. I have a nice little dish. And then I am going to take and take this board here, go along the edge of it, and clean up that edge. So I can go going. And there we are. It's a pot. Now, the last final step is sticking a sponge down in it to get all the moisture because there's water pooled at the bottom. Water pooled at the bottom of the thing will make the clay turn into sludge and slurry, and yeah, no bueno. So, I forgot to get a sponge when I first started this, so I'm going to grab that right quick. And I have everything falling out. The towel helps to keep yourself a little cleaner, hopefully. A little sponge. Soak up that water that's inside of there. And there we go. Now, since I have a very thin bottom, I want to be really, really, really careful with this because it is very wet and delicate. So I want to clean up this a little bit. I have a little spot There we go. But then the next step would be taking a wire cutting tool, like this, and sliding it down underneath and cutting it off. So that's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers, kind of like dental floss, and go very close to this and slice it. Now what happened when I sliced mine off is I sliced through the bottom a little bit because it was so thin. So you want maybe about an inch or so thick. You don't want it too thick, but you don't want it super thin. Otherwise, when you cut it off, it's going to, you know, what's the word? I can't even think anymore. It's going to slice through the bottom of it. Now, with this tool, I'm going to take this end right here, pry up this bat from the wheel. That's what it's called. It's called a bat. And just, then I'm going to set it aside for later.